Township Board of Supervisors meeting for May 15, 2024. And we are going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance, which is what flag we're holding. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so John, Maggie, and me, we're going to come on front. We're going to start with the swearing in of our new police chief, Dave Scotto. And we're very, just as the board, I just want to say, before we get started, because we're going to be to the side, that we're really very pleased. Couldn't have had a better candidate come in. We're very excited. He's got a proven track record of success, and we're totally expecting him to have the same level, even better level of success here, which I know he will. He still has about 8 minutes to back out of it. So. Okay. Oh, sorry, Mary. I'm so sorry.
Good evening, and thank you for coming out this evening. Before we start, there's somebody missing. Dave, your family's on FaceTime. So we want to let them know that they couldn't make it. Haven't cried the whole week. But before we begin this celebration, this happens to fall right in the middle of National Police Week. I think it's fitting that we have a moment of silence for those officers and peace officers throughout the nation who have lost their lives in the line of duty for the safety and the protection of the community. So if we can just have a moment of silence. Thank you. Chief Scribe, before we get to you, I just want to thank the men and women who are flanking me right now. 6 months I was tasked with keeping the wheels on keeping the wheels on without falling off, and without every one of these guys stepped up, and they were acquiring a pretty solid group of officers that I'm very, very proud to say that I'm with lieutenant. But I could not do this alone, and if you'll indulge me, I'd like to recognize the command staff of the police department. Without you, your incredible efforts, we would not or could not have the successes we've all experienced over the last 6 months. You were asked to give more, you did. You were asked to get back up when you fell, and you did. You were asked to push your comfort zones, and you did. I thank each of you for your dedication and commitment to this organization and the community to which you serve. I'm humbled and grateful. I'm humbled and extremely grateful that I've been afforded this opportunity to lead each of you through this period. Corporal Thomas, Corporal Hannah, Corporal Wisniewski, and Corporal Skillman, and of course, Sergeant Hazel. Stay the course for each other, as Chief Scribe, and stay the course for this proud profession that others have sacrificed so much more and have lost the opportunity to do what you can do. Your dedication and actions are seen by those who you guide. It will become infectious and spread, and so will the continued good name of Buckingham Township Police Department. So thank you, each and every one. Now, Chief Scribe, I asked him for his bio, and FedEx truck came out. I had to cut this down to a few cue cards. We're very excited to have you here, Chief. His service to this country began a long time ago. He served with the U.S. Air Force with an honorable discharge in 1995. Chief Scribe joined the lower one of the police department in 1992. He served proudly as a police officer, a sergeant in 2001. He held many specialty positions in detectives, SWAT operator, and chief liaison to the regional SWAT team. He became chief of police in 2019. Under his command, his accomplishments included the implementation of school resource officer, K-9 unit through grants and community support to support that program. He's very proud that he participated in a diverse workforce of sworn and non-sworn staff to include multilingual officers and staff in Spanish, Albanian, Russian, and Ukrainian, as well as achieving a female officer representation of 27% through his recruitment efforts. Chief Scarrato possesses a Bachelor's of Science degree in criminal justice and master degrees in public administration and criminal justice. Congratulations on that. He's a graduate of Northwestern University School of Police Staff and Command. Throughout his career, he has received various awards and recognition for his service and leadership abilities. Chief Scarrato has and will continue to serve on multiple committees to craft training programs which will bring increased levels of training for today's complex issues as they relate to law enforcement. Dave is a resident of Central West community. He's supported by his friends, colleagues, near and far, and most importantly, his family. He has his wife, Dr. Elena Agnati, three children, Angelina, Luca, and Giovanni. We're very fortunate to have your dad working for us. I'm very proud of that. And with that, Judge Snow.
Pennsylvania. Being duly appointed as police chief of Buckingham Township, Bucks County. Do solemnly swear and affirm that you will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution and laws of this Commonwealth.
the Constitution and laws of this Commonwealth,
That you will, during your term of office,
that I will, during my term of office,
perform the duties of your office
perform the duties of my office
with fidelity,
with fidelity,
while supporting and defending
while supporting and defending
the Buckingham Township Charter and ordinances.
Buckingham Township Charter and ordinances,
That you have not knowingly violated
that I have not knowingly violated
any laws of this Commonwealth
any laws of this Commonwealth,
or procured it to be done by others on your behalf.
or procured it to be done by others on my behalf.
That you will not knowingly receive, directly or indirectly,
I will not knowingly receive directly or indirectly
any money or other valuable things
any money or other valuable things
for the performance or non-performance
for the performance or non-performance
of any act or duty
of any act or duty
pertaining to your office,
pertaining to my office,
other than the compensation allowed by law.
other than the compensation allowed by law.
That you will uphold, obey, and enforce
Uphold, obey, and enforce
the law without consideration
the law without consideration
to a person's race, color, sex,
to a person's race, color, sex,
religious creed, sexual orientation,
personal couple of weeks for me. I've left the community that I've served for the last 32 years. Since I was a 22-year-old police officer, young man that grew up in Philadelphia, and on my way out to the suburbs. And in 2008, I was lucky enough to join the Central Bucks community. We moved to a house not far from here, 13 minutes from here. I'll be coming to see all of you often. But when I decided to search for another opportunity, another leadership opportunity in our region, I had certain criteria. That criteria was a supportive board of supervisors, a supportive local government, a supportive community for all the men and women that I'm going to ask to do the hard, heavy lifting of being police officers, and men and women I'm going to ask to serve to the best of our ability, each and every resident of Buckingham Township, and every single person that travels through this community. As you may have noticed, I do know a few people. So I've already done a lot of research, and I already am 100% confident that I have a great team here that I'm walking into. So while I'm leading a great team, I feel honored to be handed off to another great team. And every leader in here will tell you there's nothing that sets you up for success more than having a great team. So we're going to work hard together, and we're going to make this the finest police department in the region, and something that we can all be proud of for ourselves and for our families. So I just want to thank you all for this incredible opportunity. It means the world to me. And I'm looking forward to grow here with the entire Buckingham community. So thank you.
John and I did want to say, and Will touched on it, I want to thank Lieutenant Moffett for holding down the fort. And he did a great job, and obviously with the support of him, very good. This is why Buckingham is ranked the safest town in the state for its size because of all of you. And the residents know it, and we appreciate it. So thank you, Lieutenant Moffett, and thank you to all our men and women in the police force calling the company. We appreciate it. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna take a break for the meeting so we can take pictures and do a little bit. Eventually, we're gonna have to move it out, but we're gonna give everybody plenty of time for the chief to celebrate more. Okay? So let's go. Thank you.
Yeah, we got split up.
All good. Yeah, but my microphone broke.
Not that hard to see.
It's in my email. My phone's
Doing drug work. Oh, you are? For the county now?
CFO with HSI, so that's a Philly, and I'm a county politician.
Oh, hey, pleasure.
If they just let me
Thank you. Elaine Pasquale.
They were actually up here.
What's up? Her email.
I'm just going to email her because we're fighting spray shoots. In fact, Celeste said that you were at her house last week.
I was.
Yeah, so we don't have as much mobilization as you guys do.
It's also a very different project.
Well, yeah.
Elaine at ElainePasquale.com.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
Now, I was supposed to compete grappling last weekend, but it was grappling. I broke my nose. I got shit last week. Illegal
All the shit they do and grappling.
Yeah, getting ready for the grappling. I was here, dude, it was a brown belt too, out of NPR. He was like, what? Like he was like standing on the rock on this shitty ass control. I shot him for a single leg, and he laughed at my right leg. And right like at my hip, and he goes to muscle me up and falls his back. As he falls his back, he brings his heel up and smash it. Very upset. Very upset. Damn.
That's fucked up.
Yeah. So you're not, how long have you been doing that for?
I've been in the county store since like 2019. I've been a CFO for like a year with HSI. So we go down to like Section and Chestnut, the customs house. That's where that unit is out of. It's a cyber unit, but we do like a lot of drugs that come in through postal. We do like controlled deliveries, things like that. So.
Are you still training?
Dude, it's so good.
Are you still at it? Where are you?
I'm at 11. You know, there's just like not a lot. Like the jiu-jitsu is like, you know, I like it for the stand-up, just to mix it up, but even there's not like a whole lot of people. So, it's just close. We'll see. Yeah, I'm still figuring it out. And I got 2 young kids, so it's like, yeah, you know how it is.
You guys are all, address the instead of next Friday when you're
I'll work at Lowe's. I'll straighten my eye. I'll just say hi to everybody. Talk to everybody. What do you need? Oh, down right there. Clear right. But at the same time, it's like, I've never had my pen out.
Black shirt? We don't have black shirt. It looks like a luxury. Study, automatic.
That could be a lot of travel too, right? Because if you're in a major storm, you go down.
You want 2 slices of that?
Okay. But here's the thing. You hate it being on the street when it's cold and snowing and blowing in your face, you're directing traffic because the lights out, traffic lights out. Dude, you'll be up like 30, 40 feet in the air and it's worse. I know you're not, but what I'm saying is you're 30, 40 feet up with nothing blocking you and it's just pounding you in the face, that cold wind. Your hands are frozen. Well, just until fire police get there. Hey, it's not my rule. I got to listen to my boss. Oh, yeah, I know. Dude, in the middle of a blizzard, 5 points, intersection.
That's a badass.
Look, right? And this is what it is. I'm standing where the snow's coming on my face, just pounding me. Just go. If you hit me, whatever. But I can't look. I know. I can't see. I know I'd say that. They're so conscious of it.
Oh, there it is. Oh, well, yeah. How are you? Good, how are you? Same old thing. How about you?
Come on, man.
What it's all about.
Yes. I noticed that. Already.
Exactly. I noticed exactly. It seems like get it. It's just Scott.
It looks like the. You ever watch ESPN? Scott, sports guy Scott. Scott Van Pelt or something. It looks like them.
Got some good guys in all worlds. Got some Russian guys and get the Ukrainian guys.
Yeah, good.
That's a nice photo there.
Jimmy said he's coming next week. He said, I wanted to say hi to him. Yeah, I'll see you next week.
Well, mother and my son were here for a while.
Just up people back. It's like, they're like,
I didn't realize you lived that close.
to get your picture.
Yeah. But, yeah.
I need to get Lower Murray. It's like, you know what? Maybe a godsend.
Yeah, well, even the wine alone is
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it would take no. The soonest he would get here from his Lower Merion from his house would be an hour. The soonest.
Yeah, he can make, with his pension, he'll be doing well.
Yeah.
Yeah, would he have gotten paid more at Lower Merion? Yeah, he would. You're right.
Right, but
You got other stuff going on.
yeah, exactly. The headaches.
Yeah. The only thing is, if he was teaching a class here, Matt would stop his nonsense. You know, if he was a superintendent, he'd probably, enough of the comic stuff. Actually, probably would. He'd still do it.
Right. Oh, he sings him too.
Did he?
Oh yeah.
I showed that one that you said. I showed that to my wife and daughter. They were laughing. I'm not gonna walk up and say goodbye. Probably. I'm not gonna hang it too long.
It was like walk up and then they said when they were in there they need places like to go, and it was Newtown Green, something else, and Buckingham. My wife said, well, hey, my wife said, well, we're down the road. Not my wife said, why? Coming up here in the back road, trying to remember which way to this one. That's good to get in terms of hard swap right there. That would, it's 2 streets before it. Bill. I just told her. It's not too bad. That one's great. It's nicer. It's cleaner. It's nicer. That other one there is like I make my sorry, buy them all up. It's nice. I told him. It's funny. I just said.
Tell Dave I said hi. I will. Nah, never mind. Don't. Yes. And then meeting last night. The whole process, because it happened so quick, that was the only thing. I keep telling everybody it was just the harshest. I know it's been the plan, that's what he's wanted, that's what the manager wanted, and the manager knows what I've been doing. So I think it's good build up. Yeah. Yes.
Hey, good afternoon, sir. It's good to see you. I remember it. Yeah, down at 263. You live in Buckingham. Yeah, I remember it. Yes. He was here tonight. I don't know if he's still up here. But I think he worked day work and he's getting done right now. But he was up here. Yeah. So. Yes, yeah, Chief Strada. So. Oh, you're welcome. Oh, you're absolutely welcome. So nice to meet you. Yeah, you're welcome. No problem. All right. Are you staying for the meeting? No. Oh, okay. All right. Hey, stop and see us. All right. All right. See you.
Tell Macy I said hi.
I will.
It's going to be nice. Yeah, it's a good time up too. Yeah. There you go.
Oh, yes, 3 minutes.
3-minute warning, Mike.
3-minute warning.
A lot. It's all looking this way.
I just want to put it out there. A guy called him. Yeah. I thought no, I knew you guys were in this week, so I just seen it on YouTube. Nice. Yeah, like, I just wanted to give you an FYI. He called, he's done all this thing. Yeah, I'll let the supervisor.
So you can say anything.
You're not going to close trouble.
All right, I'll take it. Good job.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, since we already said the pledge of allegiance, are not okay. Okay. So we are going to start now, and that was very nice, and I'm glad first year here to see that. We're very excited about our new chief. So we're gonna have public comment. So if you have public comment, oh sorry. Okay.
Does somebody have their radio on or?
It's outside. You want me to close the door?
Transparent, my wife currently works for Buckingham Township. However, I have lived here long before we met. I remember attending township meetings at the building across the way when Jim's currently living. At the last meeting I had with you were 2 hours of public comment and some valid concerns and questions. But also when you and I knew all members of various boards, committees, and departments related to wastewater management of the township were accused of everything from stealing from our property for the township use. Unfortunately, we ended up having to pay more than we both like to value. But I understand it is to benefit the township residents as a whole. To poisoning residents by dumping toxic waste on the ground, which I find extremely trouble. The health and safety of our families is certainly our individual responsibility, and it's wonderful that we have the ability to express those concerns and get the answers to our questions from our local township, county, and state officials. I believe the two gentlemen who were present last meeting, whose credentials certainly made them the most qualified people in the room in this area, did a wonderful job answering questions. However, it appears some folks have an agenda rather than wanting to present questions, get answers, and gather useful information. I would like to briefly address two controversies, and I say that in quotes. Spray irrigation system. Thankfully, your predecessors understood that vertical development was unavoidable, and with that brings challenges. One being handling the wastewater generated. The prior township officials did the research and determined spray irrigation was a safe and environmentally friendly way to deal with it. In 1987, it was a novel idea on a larger scale, although some single-family systems have been used. I must believe when presented and ultimately put in use, it was closely regulated and watched and monitored by the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection, as remains the case currently. It worked, again providing a safe and environmentally friendly solution to the problem. Turn the clock to 2024, and we now have 11 spray irrigation fields, successfully and safely handling wastewater of likely many of the residents who spoke that night. They cited various studies to support their agenda from other areas of the country. One being North Carolina, I managed the construction project of a multi-million-dollar home in North Carolina. They have red clay soil, which is why you see brick homes in the south and not homes made from Pennsylvania fieldstone. You may as well compare the soil on Mars. Another presentation compared how the township has safely and successfully handled the wastewater to toxic waste, and simply is not accurate. Again, in my opinion, driven by an agenda and not the facts. Wanting to better understand, I contacted our water and wastewater department and had a brief telephone conversation with Mr. Clark, the director. I asked questions and listened to his answers. He explained that regulated by the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection. Testing is done quarterly with results sent to DEP. Once a year, the DEP actually comes out and does field inspections. He also explained all the township operators who work on the system are certified by the Pennsylvania DEP. He explained the fail-safes in place. There are multiple monitoring sensors that if a component fails, automatically shut the system and issues an alarm and notifications are sent out automatically. He also said he has actively discussed the systems with any concerned residents who wish to do so and can provide any testing results if requested. I did reach out to the regional office of DEP and have not heard back. I wonder how many of those concerned residents reached out to anyone locally. I have to also think that some of those residents do not keep a thought to what happened when they flushed the toilet in their home. It was out of their mind probably before they turned off the bathroom light. Unfortunately, you as stewards of the township do not have that luxury, and the handling of their waste is ultimately your responsibility on a daily basis. And I think both you and your predecessors have done an extraordinary job at that. Thank you. Concerning the warehouse, I've seen signs. I built my house in 1975, been a resident for going on 45 years. I've seen a lot of change in our township in those years. I would think a lot of people here tonight and that were at the last meeting now live on what was farmland or open space when I moved up here in 79. The Barnett Farm is an example. Old Spring, Hansel, before 13 was a beautiful Barnett farm. We used to have events there. They had a small golf course. I actually worked on that house, and they used to allow the local children, the local kids, to act as valets when we would have an event. The farm across the street, it's going to be developed. It's part of the Buckingham Springs development. When I moved up here, the farmer kept his cows in that field. Occasionally, I would find cows in my front yard. I would call him up. We'd come over, we'd herd him back across, he'd prop the fence post back up and say, I gotta get to that. That's not gonna be houses. I wish zoning was different. Then I would still be enjoying the beautiful Barnett Farm at Cold Spring and across from my house. But progress in zoning permitted those to be developed, and I accept that. The warehouse property in question was zoned in the 50s and is zoned planned industrial. I can only presume it made sense since it was close to the airport at 611. While there are some limitations, there is no getting around the zoning, and at some form of industrial building or other construction is allowed and will eventually be built. I believe there have been some informal inquiries, one being an auto auction, which would have had 8,000 cars on the site, which was informally shot down. I've heard there was going to be an Amazon warehouse built, which was a completely false rumor. The location limitations of the site simply do not allow Amazon to build a multi-million-square-foot warehouse. Another inquiry was from a local businessman who was going to build on a small portion and leave the remainder open, but backed out after hearing of the controversy, which in my opinion is very unfortunate. I have heard the owner of the property is frustrated with the township with the limiting rules and regulations regarding the use of his property, and has commented that he is trying to build anything in Buckingham is like going to a communist country with all the rules and regulations. It's quite possible a company with deep pockets willing to jump through all the hoops to build something less desirable, which the township will not be able to stop or control. I have noticed a lot of negative comments and signs regarding supervisors. As a fairly long-time resident, I want to thank the supervisors and members of of the other boards, again, both past and present, for their careful and thoughtful stewardship of the township. In fact, point out about the 6,000 plus acres of preserved land. We should remember, these folks up here, they're residents of the township, they're our neighbors. They can and do work extremely hard to manage the zoning districts, which were established in the 50s, and do so within the confines of the laws. In my opinion, they have done a wonderful job managing the inevitable growth and progress while maintaining the aesthetic integrity of Buckingham, which is why I heard from many residents at the last meeting, this is a beautiful, desirable township that they chose to move to. That did not happen by accident. Considering explosive development and looking at what's happened to our southern neighboring townships on 263, 202, 611, and 413, I feel privileged to be able to live in one of the most desirable and tax-friendly townships in the county and likely the state. In my 70-plus years on this planet, I have seen a number of controversies come and go, which are markedly different from concerns than they arose recently. Oftentimes, controversies, again, different than legitimate concerns, are oftentimes the result of self-serving, not pretense with a specific motive or agenda different than the controversy started, who disregard the facts simply to create attention to themselves. I have heard it said, don't let the facts get in the way of a good story. I believe that happens way too often. I like that these folks are the snake oil salesman, and I find it troublesome how many well-intentioned, intelligent people buy snake oil without gathering their own facts. Again, I feel privileged to have lived in Buckingham for the past 44 years, and I want to thank everyone, all the various boards and committees, both past and present, for their hard and at times thankless work to manage and preserve the Buckingham that I have called home for more than a decade. Thank you.
Okay, anybody else, just come up to the podium. Oh, okay.
Hello?
So, you just give your name and address.
Sure. Hi, good evening. My name is Richard Smith. I live at 5860 Mechanicsville Road. I'm here tonight because I'd like to raise my objections to the proposed spray fields that are being installed on Street Road and Mechanicsville Road. Myself, my neighbors, my family, we are all deeply opposed to this project. And I have a few questions. And pertinent to the last gentleman who talked about facts, maybe we could get to some of those. So my questions are, can we request all documentation about the resolution to condemn the property?
You do a right to know.
Yeah.
So we can do a right to know. That's a yes?
Yes, you can do a right to know.
Okay. Can we request all the agreement with Mr. McCardle regarding the actual property?
You can request anything that wasn't in draft form. You can request anything, but we would provide anything that wasn't drafts. Drafts of documents, different edits of documents are not public records because, they're going back and forth, but any final documents, yes.
Great. Can we request the names of the persons involved in those discussions?
That's not a document, but names would be on the document, so that might answer some of your questions.
Can we find out what the reasons were for not notifying anybody of your intentions?
I think everything was done at public meetings, so I'm not sure what you mean. I think we're talking about a right to know request of questions or a right to know request of documents and things like that, which we are happy to provide any public.
So this matter hasn't been on your agenda, so there hasn't been a public discussion. So lastly, the minutes regarding the condemnation of this property, can we request those?
All of our minutes, once approved, are on our website. And if you're looking for a specific one and you ask that in your right to know, we will provide that specific one as long as that they are, once they are approved by the township.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And the orange.
No, I didn't.
Oh, after you. Okay.
Can you hear me? Hi, Diane Tree, 5816 Mechanicsville Road. A couple of questions on spray fields also. So
not done yet.
They have to be filed, because we've talked, Diane, because you're right next door to that. We are right now doing soil testing out there, we have soil maps done. We don't have the permits done yet, because the full design is not done yet. And I think I explained to you, particularly being right next door, that we would certainly be talking to you as we develop the design, but we're not there yet. There aren't a whole bunch of documents on this yet. They just don't exist yet because we're still developing them, but you will certainly be a part of that process.
So a question, where is this sewage coming from? Where is it actually coming from? Because myself, obviously, I have my own well, I have my own sand mound, and our neighbors do as well. Where is this sewage actually coming from?
It is part of the Cold Spring system, so that services everyone who's on public sewer in that Cold Spring area. So that would be the different developments, that are in that area. That's where it's serviced.
So it's coming from Cold. How are you getting it from Cold Spring all the way over to where my house is?
Well, there's a couple different things. First of all, there is a spray field that's right next door to this property right now.
You mean in Indian Creek or
Stony. So there is an existing spray field right now.
Right, I've seen that. It's very small though. It's like probably, how many acres is that one?
I don't know off the top of my head. I don't have the wastewater engineer tonight because it was not on the agenda. But we can certainly get that for you. We have the Stony Mead there. We also have Durstein, which is up there, that's up by I guess the former Walter Trisecki, the Trisecki family parcel. There's a spray field up there that services Cold Spring. Obviously, the biggest one that you notice is the one across from Cold Spring Elementary. That's the largest one and the furthest from you. The closest ones to you would be Stony Mead, the closest, and then the second closest would be Durstein. Again, once the engineer and our agronomists and our hydrogeologists and all of the people are looking at how best to, where to place, maybe where to place it on the site and working that out, then we can also look on how we get it there. Do we send it from the Durstein spray field, go through that? Do we do it connected to Stony Mead? Again, all of these things are engineering things that take some time to determine.
But so would that be through pipes underground, that you're going to be digging pipes all the way over and underground under properties?
Yes, there would be pipes. That's how.
So I might also possibly have pipes under my property as well?
No, not where you are. There wouldn't be pipes
And they would like
crossing your
likely
property.
also stay within the right of way.
Yeah.
Township has enough right of way between where the Lejeski site is and where these fields are.
Yeah, a lot of it would be in the right of way of the road, or if a homeowner, not you're on the other side, but along the way, granted an easement or something like that, then we could, go through that. But if not, they would just be in the right of way.
And just one other thing to clarify, you had said that the sewage is coming from where the sewage is coming from. It's actually, and it probably sounds like a splitting,
Oh,
hair.
no,
It's
I know
treated
what you're going to say.
it's
Yes.
treated water. So this isn't.
Yes.
They're not.
Right, it's
bringing
already
water.
treated.
And that was my next question.
Yes,
So
yes,
where-
thank you for
Where
clarifying.
does it get treated before it comes to the new spray heads? Where is it being treated at?
We have multiple lagoons. There are, I think there's 3 of them in Cold Spring Pond, and then there's also, I think it's a finishing pond at
At
Lejeski.
Lejeski, yes.
So,
At Chesky. And you're not planning on putting any lagoons on the 46 acres, is that correct?
Correct, that is correct.
Okay, and then one last thing. What is the process? So how are you actually processing that raw sewage? So it goes to the lagoon, you have organisms in there, you have chemicals in there, it bubbles up, it then goes to the...
It's not really chemicals, it kind of naturally goes. You know more, you're better at this than I am when you're getting into that.
You explained all this at the last meeting.
Yeah, but could you just explain it again? Because I understand that,
Let me
but maybe I
explain
didn't.
that.
Yeah.
It's a multi-step process. The first step is an anaerobic digester, which is similar to your septic tank. Then it goes to an aerobic digester where oxygen is pumped through it. In both these systems, microorganisms degrade the organic materials that are in there. So in the anaerobic digester, there are anaerobes. In the aerobic digester, there are aerobes. Okay? From there, it goes through a disinfection step where the microorganisms are killed. It's then filtered, and then it's pumped off to either a clarifying pond or the spray fields.
What do you put all that soil?
There is no sludge.
There's
And it stays in lagoons. And lagoons degrade everything down. Yeah, it's much more efficient than your septic tank. Your septic tank's only about 60% efficient. By having an aerobic digester on there, you get close to 100%.
Isn't there, there's a grinder in the very beginning, isn't there?
Yeah, there's some filters that go in the process to make sure you don't get baby wipes and things like that.
That's in the beginning of the process.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There's a lady with an orange sweater with her hand out. It's quick. I mean, of course. Thanks so much. Phyllis Ruben Arnold, 4486 Longview Lane, corner of Burnhouse Hill and Longview. I'm here about the warehouse. I know it's not on the agenda, but I'm asking a question. I've been in warehouses. I've seen warehouses. I've gone to IKEA. You know, it's like 3 walls, and they put things in it, and they store them there, and wait for them to be needed, and then taken out. You know, everything I've heard, everything I've read, everything I've come to these meetings and heard, the engineers from that company come in. It's not a warehouse. Let's not call it a warehouse. It's a truck terminal. Trucks are coming in, being offloaded, and it's being put on other trucks to go out. There's only 2 walls. You're not storing stuff all the way floor to ceiling like my garage, which I call a warehouse. When I need the crock pot, I go in the garage. I find it there. This is not that. This is a truck terminal. Let's start calling it that. Thanks.
I'm Stephen Cassidy. My address is 3973 Liz Circle. I live in Hearthstone Development, and Cold Spring Creamery Road is my backyard. I know we're not talking about the warehouse because it's not on the agenda, but I won't be available in June, so I wanted to get my comments on the record. I was here back in February when you had the traffic study for the proposed warehouse. This is what we're going to have. I've lived in the Hearthstone Development for the past 24 years. I am a Central Bucks School District bus driver. I drive a full-size 40-foot bus. My pathway in the morning, so I drive along Old Eastern Road, on the left on the Landisville, on my way to Burnhouse Hill Road every school day morning. Then in the afternoon, I drive Old Eastern Road, Researcher Way, which is Old Eastern Road by the New Wawa, then a left on Eastern Road, and then right on Swamp Road. When I travel my morning run on Old Eastern Road to Landisville Road, this is a very challenging left-hand turn I have to make as a very experienced bus driver for the past 5 years on my way to Burnhouse Hill Road. When I see tractor trailers navigate the right turn onto Stony Lane, they always take this turn very slow, and they have to move their path into the oncoming traffic of Landisville Road, wait for the traffic on Stony Road to be backed up at least 10, 20 yards, and then they can make the right-hand turn onto Stony Lane. This is a very dangerous turn for any large vehicle. I have completed this turn only once in the school year, 2023 and 2024, due to a traffic situation that was on Landisville Road. I have not attempted this turn from Landisville onto Stony Road since, due to the difficulty and unsafe situation of this turn with a large 40-foot vehicle. In the afternoon, at approximately 4:10 p.m. to 4:15 p.m., a UPS 48-foot tractor trailer drives his road from 611 to 313 Swamp Road and then left on the Eastern Road. and a right onto Researchers Way, Old Eastern Road, past the Wawa, making a stop at the Biotechnology Center. Then he proceeds right onto Old Eastern Road, right onto Landisville Road, and then right onto Stony Lane. As you can see, I have a video that I took of the situation that I run into. The tractor driver, when he makes his right from Landisville Road onto Stony Road, he needs to wait for the traffic to clear. Like I said with the other tractor trailers, I've seen him go on to the oncoming traffic of Landisville Road, wait to make sure at least 10 to 20 yards back is the cars from Stony Road, then he makes that right-hand turn. And I just find that to be extremely dangerous. And then also, when I'm coming down Old Easton Road, heading towards Researcher Way, and I know the UPS tractor trailer, he's there between 4:10 to 4:15. I'm always kind of watching him in my school bus. When I start to see him making that S turn by the Wawa, I stay back because I know it's very difficult to stay in between those lines for a tractor trailer, 48-foot tractor trailer, to make that turn. So we kind of do a dance. He does his turn, and then I go and proceed my way. And that's only because I'm experienced after this whole year of going through this situation. Also, I've noticed that just the other day, and I took some pictures, is when you make that right from Landisville Road, right onto Stony Road, you can take a look, and there's at least 6 to 8 foot debit of all the cars or trucks that make that right-hand turn that cannot stay on the roadway. They have to go off the road in order to avoid oncoming traffic or any truck. And it's so deep that it hasn't happened over the past couple weeks. This has been going on for like a year. And now you're going to add additional tractor trailers making this turn, which is going to make it even more difficult. I just find that whole traffic study and the route that I take and the tractor trailers are proposed to take, I just can't see it happening and being a safe situation. And also, I know they're supposed to come down 611 then up on to 313, but there will be situations where truck drivers aren't know the proposed route they're supposed to go. They can come down 263, go down Swamp Road, make a right onto Cold Spring Creamery Road. I've done that in the bus, and I'm very scared to make that on the bus. So I need those cars on Cold Spring Creamery Road to stay back at least 2 to 3 car lengths so I can swing my 40-foot bus onto that oncoming traffic to make that turn. And then you have those ditches on the right-hand side of Cold Spring Creamery Road. And then you're going to be making the left onto Stony Road. Because people are just drivers, they're just going to go whatever way they can, whatever way their navigation system, or whatever. They might involve in a tax traffic situation I was. And they might have to make the turns that you have to. I just want, as an experienced bus driver, I drive that route that the proposed route is. I find it a little risky with a 40-foot bus, and I can't imagine people from not in the area driving a 48-foot tractor trailer about 90 times a day. So I appreciate your time listening. I just want to get that on the record. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Celeste Callahan, 3384 Street Road. We now call it Ground Zero for the Springfield because it's on 3 sides of our house. One of the things I noticed in the on your website, you have the well testing results from 2022. When will we be able to see the more recent well testing results from 2023? That would be good.
Are you referring to
Which ones
Township?
what do you need? Well, do you want to call me in the office and then?
I'll tell you what we're looking for.
For Township well sites.
No,
Are you talking about the monitoring?
I'm talking about the spray field well testing that you do annually. Okay, at Stony Mead, at Cold Spring. We would like to
Yeah, you're
see-
talking about the monitoring well test?
Yes, yes, the monitoring well test.
Sorry, I'm pulling up the website. Very fine on that, but we can talk. Have you talked to Steve yet too? Steve Clark,
No.
the director? Okay.
ours are old, and we wanna know if they're going to be affected by so much more water getting put into the ground.
We are happy to meet with you. We're happy to meet with Mrs. Tree too on that. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be distracted. I don't know what test results you were looking at on there. I have the water quality reports from 2022 on there.
Yes.
But those are township.
Okay, those are, okay.
So those are
Totally different thing.
Those are the township.
Yeah, that's why, so sorry. I'm just like, I don't know what you're looking at, but let's sit down, let's have a meeting, and let's go through what you're really, what you're looking for, what would make you more comfortable, the questions that you have, and we can kind of sit down. Because, yeah, it's great, the water quality, read them. It doesn't really have to do with the spray field.
okay.
So,
It would be great, but when we have that meeting, if Jim and Gary could be present.
I agree. I definitely would have them. Because they are much more, Gary is our expert. I am, wearing a whole bunch of different hats.
Understood. All right, thank you.
Of course. And I'd say, I think that, and Dana has said this in past meetings, just to relay something, that I think it's always been the goal to people that directly surround it are going to be involved, so.
Yeah,
Just to reassure
particularly.
you, yes.
And just maybe you want to have Larry here as well. Larry, or rotate those on the septic, so we have to talk to them about that as well.
Yeah. And yes, we have experts, and they're not me. And I will freely admit that. But we do have experts, and they're happy to talk to you, and we can, to make you feel better.
And the more you find out, you'll have more questions, but questions that are more productive for you. So.
Great.
Thanks.
Good evening, I'm John Scatellis, I live at 4280 Harbor Lane, and I'm the Vice President of the Landisville Homeowners Association. With me tonight is Christine Beltry, who's our president. And I'm here, I know the warehouse is not on the agenda, but I just wanted to make one statement and make a request, actually. So we've been watching that project, kind of scratching our heads how the Buckingham Township zoning ordinance, which is a well-thought-out document, 269 pages. We've all lived with vigorous enforcement by the township, and thank you for that, because that's why we live here. But I recently became aware of a letter written by a law firm, Grimm, Bean and Thatcher, that I think lays out succinctly why it is in fact a truck terminal, and it is not permitted zoning where it's proposed to be. So I respectfully request on behalf of the association that the township either deny the application based on that it's not permitted in the zoning. You've always had conservative interpretations of your zoning ordinance. We hope you continue that tradition, or at a minimum to at least respond in writing as to why that analysis is incorrect before you take any further action on this application.
We hear you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jeff Albert, Twinbrook Circle. Just a word of encouragement, actually. I listened in to the media conference call. As you guys know, they're intending to replace the bridge on Cold Spring Queenbury Road over the Pine Run Creek. That bridge historically gets washed out all the time after a medium to major sized storm. Roads are closed. The road is closed. When I listen to the call, it's great. It's obviously a state road. They're going to be investing almost $2 million, $1.9 million in the bridge reconstruction. All a good thing. When I listened to what had taken place, though, and what they were saying they were going to be doing, okay, the old opening is 20 feet by 3 feet 4 inches. Okay, the new opening is 20 feet by 4 feet 3 inches. Okay, I'm not a water engineer, but I can figure out the opening size and say this new opening is only 27% bigger than the old opening. Okay, the flow through that in a major storm is a hell of a lot more than plus 27%. Okay, now I know that you guys have asked. They said on the call the township has asked a question about that, and I'm thankful for that. I would encourage you to stay on top of that, okay? Because the words they used were totally, gave me no assurance but there's not gonna be further flooding. And I'll quote them. They said, the new span will, quote, provide the better flooding status than the current structure, unquote. They said, I quote, assure better than existing. That's all they would give us, okay? It's going to flood again, it's gonna be over the road again. 27.5% is not enough. They also said, well, you have to take into account the fact that the road is gonna be a little higher, okay? Which means, okay, so the water's gonna be hitting the wall above the road, but not going over, but it's still not getting through that opening. So they've designed something that is insufficient here, and I would encourage you to please stay on top. Thank you.
Thanks, John. Anybody else?
Lisa Brown, 352 Dark Hollow Road. I just wanted to say congrats and welcome to Instagram. As someone that has advocated for just more communication in the township, I just think that's great, and I'm super excited. I saw the new edits to the website, and I think they look really great. And I briefly saw Brittany in the EAC meeting, and she seemed very lovely and amazing and excited to do that stuff as well. So I just wanted to say that I noticed that, and I thought it was great.
Thanks, Lisa.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm gonna add to your comment, or enlarge your comment to include you with the colorful flyers, stuff the flyers up from the EAC for all the activities. So I and personally thank you for that.
Thank you. Okay, because
You know what, so for everybody else who's sitting here, EAC, Environmental Advisory Committee, all resident volunteers. They did the plant sale on Saturday, 2 hours, boom. Every pollinator packet was gone. We have so many, I say we because I'm a liaison to that committee and I feel like part of it. It is the most fantastic, active group of people, and if you stay to the end of our agenda, which is not really very long tonight, we are going to hopefully pass the energy transition plan that the committee and especially Andrea Strout has worked up, and she'll do a presentation on what that is. But it's really exciting. It's really exciting. So I just wanted to add that, and special thanks to the members of the EAC. We have chairs reserved up here for the EAC.
So I'm going to make the meeting quick so they...
Yeah, so let's go so we can get to
okay,
them.
so real quick, that was your board for John has
I just want to mention that Bill Yurkis recently passed away. Bill's brother John and his brother Skip grew up over at Nonsuch Farms. They preserved the farm back in the 90s, over 200 acres. They were all lifelong farmers. Skip was a Bill also served on the Bucks County Land Preservation Board, where he was responsible for preserving over 18,000 acres in the Bucks County Bill, as we count paying.
Yeah.
And Bill also served on the board of supervisors.
That's
Here, so, in Buckingham, so. And that's my answer.
Thank you. Him and his family, one of our top residents, and we appreciate his life service. And he was a good person. And I remember when he came in front of us for something, and you're almost in awe because he did all this stuff, and he was a township supervisor here, and he was a good man. So God rest his soul. Okay,
Nonsuch Farm Market is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
The business, and it's a family-run business.
Yeah.
So
For a long time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shop local.
Just wanted to mention.
Yeah.
The service was last Friday.
Yeah. Okay. Now, give me 1 second, I'm just gonna find my way here. Okay, the Buckingham Township Administrator's offices will be closed Monday, May 27th, in observance of Memorial Day. And happy Memorial Day, for all the people that served us. Buckingham Township Free Family Fun Concert Series begins June 20th at Hansel Park from 7 to 9 p.m. with music and ice cream. So it's our first concert. We always have an ice cream social. So please come and join us. I think we have 8 concerts this year, and again that starts June 20th at Hansel Park. Thursday, yeah, the Thursday night. Number 3, make a motion to approve payment request number 11 to GS Developers for the work completed on the water company generator upgrades, contract UT-22-01, in the amount of $108,000. Do I have a second? And again, like we always say, this is not tax dollars. This is people like myself, who customers of the water and sewer department. Okay. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Aye. Number 3B, make a motion to approve payroll dated April 25th, 2024 and May 9th, 2024, and the bill list for the meeting of May 15th, 2024 in the amount of $1,173,078.76. I didn't think I was gonna get through that. Okay, any discussion? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Aye. Number 4, I make a motion to approve the draft supervisor minutes for April 24th, 2024 work session and April 24th regular business meeting. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
We're getting it easy.
Yep. Make a motion. Wait, give me 1 second. Okay, I make a motion, we accept the inclusion in the township records various departmental minutes and advisory board minutes, which include the safety committee from March of 2024 and the building and zoning monthly stats of April 2024. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Make a motion, we agree to approve the developer's request for an extension of the time within which to complete the improvements as set forth in the residential development contract and water and sanitary sewer development agreement covering Fenton's Corner subdivision township file SA 2013-03 to May 24th, 2025. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I make a motion, we approve the developer's request for an extension of time within which to complete the improvements as set forth in the land development contract for the Bucks County Airport Authority, Doylestown Airport Phase 2 Land Development, Township File LD 2003-02 to June 11th, 2025. Do I have a second?
You got it.
Which we'll discuss. Dan?
So this is the Airport Authority's land development that they had started in 2003. It was always expected to be a multi-year program. They were going to do improvements as the funding became available. So there has been a delay a little bit in the funding, but they are still making progress in turning some of the paved tie-downs, or grass tie-downs to paved tie-downs, and doing some taxi work. So they're going to keep this open for a little while. So you guys get that. You've seen the 2003 LD number, but when it was approved, we all understood that it could be some time. They have been making some strides with putting some landscaping between them and the biotech in and doing some of the work that has been approved. So I suggest you to allow them to do the work that was acceptable. Nothing really has changed.
And is it a fair statement to say this has to do with safety and keeping Buckingham up? It doesn't have to do with expansion or anything?
No, this is changing some of the taxi areas to move, the paved tie-down areas further away from the runway. Also providing a couple bypass lanes at different ends of the runway, so if someone stalls out, that another plane can get through. So they are mostly safety upgrades. Nothing extending the runway And then, as always, as I say, whenever we talk about the airport, the capacity of the airport has not changed. It has stayed at what it was when we started all of the stormwater improvements and any of those discussions. So,
great. And there is a serious funding problem.
Yes.
As a pilot, for years, every gallon of avgas we buy, a certain amount of it went into a fund in the state of Pennsylvania to improve airports. And about 20 years ago, the governor decided to raid the fund, and all disappeared. So, unfortunately, they have to start over again. So, there you go.
Any other discussion? Okay, after we take this vote, I'm gonna give the floor to Maggie. All in favor?
Hi.
Aye.
I'm giving the floor to the co-chairs of the EAC.
It's like a hot potato.
So you want it, Maggie,
What did I say?
Oh,
Andrew's going.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know what we're doing here, Maggie.
To the micro.
Sorry. Maggie gave a nice intro, and Maggie has been our moral and material support through quite a long process to get to where I think we are tonight, which is hopefully, looks like, fingers crossed, approving our energy transition plan for this township, which a number of townships, actually all across the country, but including in Central Bucks and Bucks County itself, have put together blueprints for the gradual, sensible transition of our township to 100% clean, renewable energy for all sectors by 2050, and for electricity by 2035. Those are the sort of broad strokes part of this. But what it means is that we will be taking an active stance to strike a blow for the future and for our children and for our grandchildren in a sensible way that is in line with our values in this township and that makes sense to us. This energy transition plan is in draft form, and it will actually never move out of draft form because the technology keeps moving ahead, and as we learn more things and more things come online that we can take advantage of, as more townships come online and enact their own ETPs and climate action plans, we have more opportunities to band together to do power purchase agreements and different things. So this is a living document. We will need everybody's support, everybody's buy-in, everybody's help, everybody's ideas. Once this gets approved, this process actually started 6 years ago, I think, when we had a man who, I wish he was here today, Bill Sadie, great guy from Plymouth Meeting Township, who's been going around to all of southeastern Pennsylvania townships and helping them start to look at what he called a Ready for 100 resolution, which we passed and many other townships have also passed. I think 36 in southeastern Pennsylvania, maybe it's up to 43, I don't know. But he started us down this path, made a presentation, and in October 2020, this Board of Supervisors passed a resolution that said we would start down this path towards tonight, actually, towards doing and approving a draft ETP. So I want to thank, first of all, Maggie as our liaison and fearless advocate. But there is not a single person up on this dais who has not been instrumental in getting us to where we are tonight. For reading the drafts, for commenting on the drafts, for giving advice on the drafts, for sitting with PICO people and people from the Clean Energy Strategic Planning Group and crunching numbers and DVRCP, you name it. So we thank you all for this.
the resolution unanimously. And, you know, yes, I'm the liaison, but my colleagues are the reason we are winning.
Maggie, I want to thank Andrew, who was just, what he just did. As a writer of all of these documents over all of this time, thank you.
Thank you.
And that said, this is a group project. I mean, it is a big group project. Dawn went to the classes when Andrea started going to the classes. So it's just an example. If you're interested in something the township is doing, call us, come up, join the group. I mean, it's really important. And we have, you know, if you have an idea that initiative that hasn't been started, you know, more power to us all. So, you know, this is really an exciting thing. I'm so happy.
I'd like to say something about the EAC and Maggie. And sometimes
They do all the work.
when you deal with, you know, when you work together as a community, you know, you have different visions sometimes. And, you know, listen, I'm probably guilty of it too. You're a little upset when an idea of yours doesn't make it or something. But I would say the EAC board, honestly, I'm not just saying this, if there's any constructive advice to give, you never do a hard pushback. You say, well, look at it this way, and that way, but you're always open to other ideas, which is a big deal. And I appreciate that because you're able to work with people like that, and it helps our community when you're able to work together. And so I want to thank you for your openness and your even killedness, if I might say. I wouldn't know anything about being even killed. I'm Italian, but yes, thank you.
And so, with that, I'm going to make a motion that we adopt the Buckingham Township Energy Transition Plan.
Second.
Any questions or comments now that we've talked your ear off?
My name is Jane Seberg. I live at 4683 Bradley Court. I'm very much in favor of this, but I'm just curious if you could elaborate on why those dates. Seem pretty far out to me, but educate me, please.
So these dates are part of a worldwide consensus on what our planet needs to do in order to avert the worst consequences of climate crisis. So these are agreed upon dates and not something that we made up or that Ready for 100 made up.
But we wouldn't be disappointed if we were able to see our way earlier.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Good point.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, good question, though.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And that's why it stays a draft, right, Angela, because things could happen soon.
It's a living document, as they said.
Yeah, and we have our electricity plan, part of our electricity, right, Dana, comes from,
50% of the electricity that we're purchasing right now is the township is clean,
correct.
completely cleaner.
Yeah, so we're still doing
Well
it.
ahead of a lot of townships.
And I'm just going to tell a real quick story and brag on Buckingham. So I went to this Bill Sadie, who Andrew brought up, and Ready for 100 in the beginning when it was only Ready for 100. I go to Del Val College and they did a presentation, and he's going through a PowerPoint, and he says, and there's a township in Bucks County, Buckingham Township, that has already transitioned all their lighting in the public areas to LED. I almost fell off the chair because I wasn't even thinking about it. We had talked about it, we passed it and all. So I came back and I said, okay, we're patting ourselves on the back for that. But that was really a great kickoff for this whole initiative. So that's it. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. And that's not the end. Your next project is the cat, right?
And the bird.
Oh, well, next time, yeah, we're gonna bird town. So, what's Dana? Birdtown, how are we dealing with Birdtown?
Yes, Birdtown. So we're just gonna keep going here.
Keep going here.
Ah, there we go. There we go.
Thanks.
Okay.
Okay.
But we have to tell them to.
And one thing I think we figured out was that we already kind of are a bird town, just not officially yet.
That's correct. Right. So, Birdtown is a voluntary organization in Pennsylvania dedicated to creating a habitat that is safe and healthy for birds as well as the rest of the community. There are several townships in Bucks County that are already bird towns. We're kind of at the back end of joining this because Birdtown kind of went into hiatus for about 2 years. But we are already doing virtually everything that Birdtown would like us to do. We have native plant sales, we plant trees, we have our wonderful wetland area behind the township building here. We have our meadows, we have all these infrastructure things that we are doing to promote birds in our community. Joining Birdtown will then be an obvious acknowledgement that we value the principles of Birdtown and that we are going to follow them moving forward. So, birds are very important to the community. They eat a lot of insects. Birds clean up a lot of dead animals on the side of the roads. They clean up a lot of mice and voles that would otherwise populate our houses and barns. So they have a very important part in terms of keeping our environment clean. They also are kind of like the canary in the coal mine. When we see problems with our birds, it usually indicates that there's a problem with our environment. Bird populations have been on decline for the last 50 years. It's almost directly related to a decline in the insect populations because of a decrease in habitat for the insects and birds. If we can correct that by creating more habitat for insects and birds, we can restore the population, such as we've seen with the bald eagle. By taking away DDT, all the eagle populations have come back and restored themselves. So we have the opportunity to do this here in Buckingham. We have the open space. We have the willing people to volunteers to do this. And I think that this is something that we can do without too much additional effort. So the EAC would like to propose to the supervisors that we join Birdtown. So it involves a couple of steps. The first step is to form a Birdtown committee. The committee we are proposing would be a subcommittee of the EAC populated by volunteers. We have several birders and master gardeners who've already spoken up and said, geez, I really like to do this. The Birdtown committee would report through the EAC and we would review everything they're doing to report up to you guys. We form that committee. The committee would then fill out the application to become a Birdtown member. And there's a resolution that you would pass saying that the township wants to become a member of Birdtown. We pass that resolution, we submit the application and the resolution to Birdtown, Pennsylvania for approval, along with $100. Additional costs that we can see occurring with this are pretty minimal. We want to put up Birdtown signs along with our entering Buckingham signs along the road to acknowledge our participation in this program. But other than that, the other things that we're doing in terms of planting trees and the gardens and things like that are all part of what we're already doing. So I don't see a huge incremental increase at all. Great.
All right.
I don't think we can afford the $100.
I knew that would be a thing. Can I
Pass that out. Okay, yeah, thanks. I mean, we'll talk about it, and I can't imagine if we passed an ETP, we can't pass Birdtown. We'll be all about it.
Can I ask you a question about it?
Certainly.
I have a question on this. This subcommittee, either way, for me is not an issue. I'm just curious. Is it a limited edition subcommittee or something that's kind of ongoing?
It would be chaired by a member of the EAC, and then we add additional volunteers to fill in because we want some birding expertise and gardening expertise and things like that. We don't necessarily have.
So but it's an ongoing subcommittee. Okay, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All good.
Okay.
All right.
And I would say just
figure out.
say
what
we're
they-
doing it.
Yeah, and I was just gonna say, let's just figure out how many people you want on the committee and stuff like that. Yeah.
So, your motion could be
Oh,
authorizing
okay.
township staff to take the required actions to become a designated
Okay,
emergency.
Maggie,
There you go.
You're gonna make the motion.
Okay, did you hear that?
Yeah, we might as well just do it now.
Okay, all in favor?
Wait, what's the
Oh,
motion?
yeah, do we need a second?
You
Yeah,
wanna
maybe.
do it?
I think I just read it from your agenda.
Oh, okay. Okay,
I just put it right on there.
Paul second.
I second.
We're good.
Okay, Dennis in favor of being a bird town?
Aye.
Aye. Cheep, cheep. Thank you for
Thanks for all your hard work.
Now, if I could only see the birds, that would be great.
There's so many.
I know there are.
We had a birder for years
I need
that
to
would go down
binoculars.
and document all the birds for us
There's a lot of birds.
for years.
Yeah, there is. And then behind here, don't we have little, not kiosks, little stands that these kind of birds? Wait a minute, where am I?
We have
Right there.
different bird boxes, we have all sorts.
You know what we're talking about? There's a path right behind the township building. I bet I hadn't been down that for 15 years until we did a newsletter article last year. And we walked down there and there were the red-winged blackbirds and they're chatting with each other and it's really beautiful and peaceful.
And Paulie did my son did his Eagle Scout project back there, right, Dana?
Yeah. He did a great job.
I don't know, do we have anything else?
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
sorry. There's a couple more things.
Yeah, here's a couple more things.
Okay, give me 2 seconds to get my eyes adjusted. Okay. I make a motion, we authorize township staff.
No, did that.
I'm just testing you. Okay. Next one.
Jim Webb.
Jim Webb. Make a motion, we appoint Jim Webb to the Historic Architectural Review Board, filling a vacancy with an expiration date of January of '25. Do I have a second?
You got it.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Make a motion, we approve the settlement agreement between Buckingham Township and Samantha Devery per recommendation of Insurance Council. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I make a motion, we approve a purchase order to Chapman Auto Group for an F-350 with uplifting package in the amount of $78,042.93. Do I have a second?
Second.
And Dana, just explain what this is for.
Yes, this is for water and sewer, and this is basically to replace, there was a truck that we had ordered that was never coming in, so it kind of bumped us into the next year, and of course bumped us into a much more expensive vehicle, because all of them, so yes, this is with the full uplifting package
Okay.
and soup to nuts.
And this is not taxpayer money. This is water and sewer customers, okay? Just, not that it's not just as valuable, but still, I just want you to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is not hybrid.
Yeah, it's an F-350.
Not, yeah, we can't, not yet, they don't make them that big,
Yeah,
at hybrid.
yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. Any other discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And lastly, make a motion, we approve a connection to the Cold Spring wastewater system. Yep, for 3761 Cold Spring Creamery Road, Township Map Parcel 06-004-038. Do I have a second? Okay. Do I have any discussion?
This is just a failing system.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And before I do my last motion to cancel the meeting, or close the meeting, we had a very short exec meeting before the chief got sworn in, and it was in regards to land preservation and potential, having more land preservation, potentially. So it sort of just, yeah. Fingers crossed. Okay, so I'll make a motion to close the May 15th
2024 Buckingham Township Business Week.
Second.
Any discussion? Thank you, everybody, for attending.
Yeah.
Close.